Hi there. Welcome to Conversations, where we seek to advance your leader and team excellence by discussing relevant topics that impact today's organizations. Welcome to the show. Hey there, leader. In today's conversation, we have the opportunity to speak with James Hinson. He is a broker associate with Keller Williams Realty in beautiful Southwest Florida. He specializes in golf communities, luxury homes and condos, and investment properties. As a real estate professional, James is knowledgeable about the current market trends, able to quickly and accurately assess a property's market value, and is an expert in real estate marketing, including social media and geo-marketing to attract buyers from around the globe. When not working hard for his buyers and sellers, James is actively involved in his community, professional board, and family. For all you Clifton Strengths enthusiasts, James leads with individualization, activator, futuristic, ideation, and developer. James, welcome to the show. Hi, James. How are you today?
Great. How are you, Dr. Whalen?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Southwest Florida. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely, especially after the weekend thunderstorms that we had. Very
Yes.
thankful.
Yes. And look at that background that you have.
Yes, just another day at the beach down here.
Another day at the beach. Life is good.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, we have had just an interesting few months in our nation and around the globe. And, I imagine that the real estate profession has, felt some of that uncomfortableness that other sectors have been experiencing. So I'd love for you to just to jump in and tell us, what does the real estate market look like during these COVID-19 times?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the question. I think it's definitely one that we're addressing on a day-to-day basis down here. And the silver lining is that it actually looks really good. The market hasn't been anywhere near as affected as I think a lot of people were preparing for.
Such good
Not,
news.
yes, yes. Not to say that we haven't had our share of difficulties, but we're working through them. Um, and in fact, I was looking at the numbers, getting everything prepared for this, and NABOR, the board that I volunteer at, we just released our numbers for last month compared to uh, April of the prior year, or I'm sorry, March of the prior year.
Okay.
And actually, our median home prices are up for this year as opposed to,
Wow.
2019, as well as our closed sales. We're up about 16%. So
That's
very,
good
very thankful.
news.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So what might be some of the challenges that you and your colleagues have been experiencing? So it sounds like, numbers are good, things look good, but maybe what are some of those challenges, day-to-day challenges, or whatever you want to talk about?
Absolutely. So some of the challenges that we're facing right now are a lot of the day-to-day stuff. We are not able to go out and go through property like we could just a couple of months ago.
Mm,
That has definitely changed and impacted how we do business. So we're doing a lot more virtually. I don't know if you've seen any of the virtual open houses or if you've been following any of the other agents, but now if it's possible to do it via FaceTime or Zoom or something to that effect, we are trying to do it to just to minimize our interaction with the public, and also for our sellers, minimize the public that's accessing their unit. Because the
yeah.
last thing we want is someone that's sick and doesn't know it to go through someone else's home.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh, and so how are your clients, customers, however you address them, how are they maybe accepting or stepping up and into this, challenging time?
Well, it's actually been really positive, that the feedback that we've had. So this this break from the norm, the standard, where we would meet them face to face and go out and actually tour the properties, has been replaced with a lot of telephone calls and video. And the one benefit of that is we can reach a whole lot more people in a much smaller amount of time. So perhaps those customers or friends or contacts that you haven't talked to in 2, 3, 4 years, you're able to reach out to them and reconnect. So in that regard, there's been definitely some positive, and it seems like everybody's responding to this ability to FaceTime, Zoom call, and just reconnect.
Yeah, that's great. And I love hearing that because, you know, real estate is so relational, especially residential real estate. And so, that relationship component and continuing to have those connections, even if you're establishing new connections, I'm sure is like super important. And so I love hearing how, you said that, you're connecting or reconnecting with people. And so that's really what, business and running organizations and leadership is all about, is really making those connections, establishing that relational component. And, because that drives, I'm sure, so much of your business.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a relationship business, and that has not changed with this COVID-19 outbreak. It's just a matter of how are we making those connections. That's changed a little
Mm.
bit. And a lot of agents have really responded very quickly with adapting new practices, best practices regarding social media and interaction. And it seems like we're having a really good response from our customer base. So it's been eye-opening.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of a learning curve, I think, whenever there's, something new. But I know in your bio you talked about, having some expertise around social media, and can you unpack a little bit of that and maybe give some tips to some of the leaders who are on the call?
Yeah. So, I've been obviously using social media for quite a while now, several different platforms. The platforms that I utilize the most would be Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And really, I believe that the best practice on all three platforms is to get as visual as possible. Videos being preferred, but certainly images over texts. And I think that that is where our industry has gone in a very quick time. Agents have adopted video and doing virtual tours, and I really think that as we move forward, we're going to get back to some resemblance of the way business was done before, but some of this will carry over. And I believe there will be a lot more done via video and via social media than before. So if you haven't started integrating video into your actual business plan, it's not just for socializing anymore. If you haven't incorporated it into your actual business, you should really start adapting that and learning it. And it's not very difficult to do.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, I certainly would rather, view a video. And I also think that, you have the ability to, and we, on our pre-call, we talked a little bit about authenticity, and, leaders are able, when they do videos, to bring themselves, to bring their, personality or their strengths, what they're talented in, to the video, especially when they are part of the video, and therefore, their customers can see and hear and get an idea of, what you're about.
Absolutely. And that is, in my opinion, that's the key to video right there, is you want it to be authentic. Everyone gets caught up. They get afraid to do video because they're afraid of the production value. They're afraid of how they're going to look, what they're going to say, how they might act. And the truth is, especially whenever you're doing video for social media, it's about connecting. It's about connecting with people that know you or want to get to know you. And that means that they want to see you naturally. They don't want it all polished and perfect. They just want you to connect with them. And I know that I reached out to you recently via a quick little just message, a video message directly to you, a direct message. And I think that this is huge and has a great impact in a one-to-one situation. So, I encourage people to get out there and do that. Reach out to your friends and family on Messenger or whatever direct message app you're using, and do quick videos with them until you get more comfortable and you feel like you're ready to put it on Facebook or Instagram for everyone to see.
Yeah, that's a great tip right there. And I have to say, when I opened up my messenger and there you were, I'm like, and he said my name. And I'm like, oh, this is like directly to me. This isn't like just share amongst all your friends. It was like you really connected with me. And when I got there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna video him back. And so I did. And it was like, why should I text? He just sent me this great, hi, how are you? Thinking of you type thing, and hope you're doing well. I thought I'm going to send him back one. So I was really, I mean, it made my day. I'll just say that it made my day to hear from you.
Well, that makes my day hearing that, and that's really the response that I'm getting from a lot of people. It takes the same amount of time to do a quick video. It might be faster than sitting there and trying to think of the right words for a text. And it doesn't have to be crazy long, just 30 seconds to a minute. And it really does. It makes someone feel special. It makes them feel like they're wanted and thought about, and it really solidifies that bond that you'll have with your customers if you just take that time to acknowledge them in a one-on-one setting, and give them a quick video.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's interesting that we're sitting here, talking about this subject because, we met last year, through an organization who contracted with me. And you were, because you have Activator, you were, of course, my first, my first coaching call on that contract. And so, my report that I gave back to you was a written version. And after you, everybody else got video. And I made that decision because it was like, I can be more personable with a client through video. I can type and I could say the words, but I really think establishing that bond and having a client see me showing up again, not just, on the call, but then step back into it, I think is really important. So, I apologize that you got a report, not a video.
That's fine. I actually just got my video last week, so you more than made up for it.
Well, good, because I do believe that there is value for both the receiver as well as the sender on that.
Absolutely.
And then you also have futuristic in your top 5. And so as you look into the future of real estate, what can we expect post COVID-19?
Yes. So I believe that's the big question right now in our industry, and I think a lot of industries, is how will business proceed? What's the rest of the year going to look like? And certainly 2021. And while none of us have a crystal ball, so we don't know exactly how it's going to play out, I think that it's pretty safe to say that we're in a market shift,
Okay.
and it's going to continue to shift. Now, I don't believe it's going to have the impact that we saw in 2007 and 2008, where properties were losing, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50% of their value almost overnight. I don't believe that that's what we're looking at, but we're going to see a continuation of properties, taking a few more days to sell, and probably sellers having to decide whether or not it's worth it to take a price adjustment in order to readjust for the new market value, or if they want to see if the market will respond post COVID. And really, I think that a lot of this is going to depend how much longer we're going to continue to go through this stay-at-home order, and how much longer it's going to take for our economy to get back up and going. Um, so hopefully we'll know a little bit better in a month or two.
Okay. That's not too bad considering. And I know, or at least I can imagine. I'm just trying to think if I was like selling a home right now, I'd have some concerns, about is it going to move? Am I going to have to, take a reduction? So maybe what's some encouragement to people who who do have their homes on the market right now?
Well, I think that the most encouraging thing is that our market is moving. You know,
Yeah.
I have snapshots that I can send over to you of the last 7 days. We've actually had more property close in the last 7 days than came on the market. So
Mm.
if you're a yeah, yeah. So if you're a seller, you certainly want to be in a market where more properties are selling than are going on the market. That means less competition for you. So while the value might have to adjust with the changing market, the one thing that we have that's very, very positive that perhaps we didn't have as much of in 2007 and 2008 is the amount of inventory that's actually selling. So property is moving, and you know we've been in a seller's market for the last 8 or 10 years. We haven't swung way back the other direction where we're in a definite buyer's market. We've more or less balanced out. Um, so there's some very positive things for anybody that's looking to sell or has their property on the market. I would say just consult with your real estate professional and go through these issues with them, but no need to panic.
Yeah. And I think that's good news if somebody's looking to list their home at this time. I mean, if property is moving, why not put it up for contract? That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. You know, I can't guarantee you that if you list your home, you will sell it. But the one thing I can guarantee you is you have a much better chance of selling your home if it's on the market than off the market.
You heard it here, folks. That is true.
Yes,
And now that you know, you can't unknow.
exactly.
Oh, and so when you think about, because we're here in Southwest Florida, do you think this is kind of reflective of the nation, like nationwide real estate, or do you think this is more region?
So I've definitely been talking with other professionals from around the country, and they're experiencing similar market shifts. However, Southwest Florida being primarily a second home market, uh, there's definitely a little more to take into consideration as the stock markets and other markets fluctuate. There tends to be a decrease in purchasing that second home or third home that you don't really need, but you just kind of want. However, like I said, we haven't had that huge backlash, at least not yet. And I don't foresee it coming as long as we can get pushed through this, fairly quickly. But other areas of the country seem to be responding in about the same way. There's been less inventory moving overall, and the prices have reduced a little bit, but nowhere near what we experienced in the last recession.
Hmm. All right. And then how is so you're part of the Keller Williams group. And so how are they helping I mean, you're a broker associate. So maybe how are you, as well as, Keller Williams as a whole, helping other real estate professionals during this time?
So Keller Williams has been great during this entire shift. So Keller Williams is big into mindset, which I'm sure you can appreciate.
Sure can.
So every day, at least once a day, most days twice a day, we've been doing video Zoom conferences in just our brokerage, just to make sure everybody has the right mindset going into the day and at the end of the day to kind of decompress and get ready for your family time. And also to go over our wins. I think it's very important right now, especially. There's so much negative news out there, and people want to focus on the bad that we forget that there's still good in the world, and
Sure is.
we're still having wins. We're still selling property, and a difficult market for one person creates an opportunity for another person. And let's focus on those wins. Let's focus on that positivity. And let's go out there and find the person that this is a preferential market for. Right now, may not be the best market for selling, even though I don't think it's a bad market, but it's created an opportunity for investors, people that may not, they might have been priced out of the market for the last several years. Now there's an opportunity for them to pick up investment property at a rate that works for them.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. And also, I'm hearing the opportunity for the people who are on those calls to be, fed and encouraged and, to understand that they're not in this alone and that maybe there's a learning curve to some of the experience that they've had, but you're all in this together.
Absolutely. And if I can take just a second to thank a few people. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I've got someone that I run scripts with. His name's Jordis Reyes, and I'm sure that name
Right.
sounds familiar.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
yes, part of our leadership class, and he has been great. He's with Keller Williams as well, and that's just one way that this company has helped us all stay together. We're actually working with each other to help grow each other's business. So Jordis has been fabulous, and Becky Colburn, she has really been helping me with my mindset. So um, the leadership there really puts a huge focus on mind, um, you know, on keeping your mind active and, like I said, really feeding your mind the good stuff to get your business going in these difficult times.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have to keep that, that optimism, that positivity, or else, what are we going to do? We're going to go hide in a shell until this is over, and then we're going to come out and say, "Gosh, I wish I did." ...
Yeah, yeah. It's not a time to hide. It's I think it's a time to communicate and really come together.
Yeah, and I love how you talked about, that relationship part of it because again, real estate and this goes back to strengths too. So, I've worked with a couple of the Leadership Academy classes, and it's interesting when I compile the data, from the assessments and how heavy in relationship building the real estate professionals are, and so that's always fun for me to see how that all pans out. But it's all about people, and it's all about you're helping people, whether it's their second home or third home here, or I mean, imagine their first home, and the impact that you have on a family, with their first home. So I applaud that.
Absolutely. And, we've been working together for about a year, going on a year now, I believe. And the strengths that you helped me to recognize in myself really have been hugely beneficial over that last year. One thing that I've definitely found is that whenever you know your strengths, you're better able to play to those strengths and to communicate with your customers using your strengths as opposed to your weaknesses. And obviously, that's going to make you better at your job.
That's right. Why not lean into what we're good at and just keep doing more of that? I mean,
Yes.
it's a simple concept, and it's just amazing. It was like a light bulb moment for me the first time that I took the assessment and thought, "Oh, I have permission to be myself."
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
awesome. I'm glad that you found value in it, and you're able to work that into your everyday, your business, as well as it, because strengths is all about personal professional life. There's no line there. It's just who we are and how we show up as our authentic self. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for helping me uncover them.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd never sat down and actually done that. So often you hear other professionals telling you you need to focus on areas that maybe you're a little weaker in.
Yes,
And yeah, and it was like an aha moment, boom, whenever you said, no, let's find out your strengths and let's play to those.
that's
It made
right.
so much more sense.
there's enough work for everybody to go around.
Yeah,
Let's plug people in where they're good, where they're strong, and let them take care of that business. And let's do, let's stay in our lane. And how can we be strong and bring our best, to the team, to our leadership, to our families, just by leaning into, like I said, what we're already good and designed to be. So I love that.
absolutely.
Yay. Well, James, is there anything else that maybe we can unpack about the real estate market that you can think about that might be important to relay to the leaders who are listening?
No, I think that the most important message that I could relay is um, talk to a professional. We are in a shifting market, so what is happening today could definitely change and will change over the next 30 to 60 days. So it's really, really important that if you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about investing, to make sure you get a real estate professional and a team working with you in these times. I just can't stress that enough. So that would be my number one thing. And obviously, if you're in Southwest Florida, I would love to be that professional for you.
Yes. So how can people connect with you? I'd love to have them be able to, extend this conversation with you. So how can they get with you?
Sure. So you can find me on social media. On Facebook, you can just look at my name, James Dean Hinson, and you'll see James Dean Hinson, Keller Williams Naples. On LinkedIn, you can also search me by my name, James Dean Hinson. On Twitter, I'm James Hinson14. And on Instagram, I post daily there. You can find me at Real Estate James.
Right. Well, and is there a website? Did you say that?
Oh, yes, yes. My website is jamesdhinson.com. So
All right.
www.jamesdhinson.com.
Awesome. So you can find James anywhere on the internet. He is all over the place and ready to
Pretty
serve.
much. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on and kind of just unpacking for our listeners, what the market is, kind of what to expect, and not to be scared off by what's going on, that things are going to return. We do have a little bit of a, mindset shift as to, how to proceed a little bit, but it sounds like the real estate market is going to survive this. It's not going to be replicating what we had in the past, and that everybody will be, buying, selling you know, as they need to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a shifting market. It's not a bad market. Just talk to your professional and come up with a plan.
That's right. All right. Well, until next time, keep doing great things, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Until next time, this is Dr. Kelly Whalen. Keep doing great things because our world needs leaders like